If you all come down onto your backs, not sure that's going to stay. Good morning. So this morning's class is called Patterns, and when we're working in this approach, we're always laying down optimal movement patterns. So we want to think, how can we make our bodies move more efficiently, more effectively, and more energy fueled? And that is by creating good, clear patterns from the brain to the body. So we're going to be working on that as usual, but we're also going to be bringing in, I suppose, a pattern theme throughout. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. Come down onto your back. Just think about the back of the neck being long, the shoulder blades open, the sacrum resting heavily onto the floor. And I just want you to lie here just for a moment and bring yourself to the mat this morning. Maybe you've just rolled out of bed and you're feeling a bit cronky. Maybe you have been all over the place already this morning. But just allow yourself to settle on the mat. Start to tune into your body. Notice how it feels this morning. Notice if you're holding on to any tension or tightness. And if you are, just notice where you're holding that tension or tightness in your body. And use your breath to move it around the body to those areas, moving any tension or tightness away. And as we lie here, because breath is such an important part of the patterning, I want you to really think about your breath. Where's it coming into your body? Is it coming in through your nose, through your mouth? And where is it sort of ending up? Is it in your chest, your belly? And I want you to really think as you move this morning about breathing in and out through the nose and keeping that breath functional. So drawing the breath deep into the body and keeping it out of our chest. So the breath isn't designed to be taken in through the mouth, and keeping it up in the chest is a very fight or flight breath. So we want to work with our body, keep our nervous system happy. So think about that breath in and out through the nose as you move right now on your mat as you breathe. Starting to bring that pattern into your practice. Just going to mute you all. And then I want you to take a moment to think to your mind this morning and just notice how your mind's feeling. Notice the thoughts, emotions that are cropping up. And on your next exhale, I want you to visualize popping those unwanted thoughts, feelings, and emotions on an imaginary cloud and just letting that cloud float past your eyes. They'll be there later, but give yourself this chance to be connected, to be present, mind and body on your mat. Last breath here. And then keeping that breath in and out through the nose. Take your hands to your thighs. Make sure your feet are sort of not directly under your knees, a little bit further away. Drive down into the soles of your feet and then peel your bum up, coming into a low bridge. Think about hips, knees, ankles, big toes in a line, and we're just going to start to flutter those knees outwards. So we're working into our outer glutes. Keep that breath in and out through the nose. Little out in, out in, out ins. Good. Working into the hips. Take the right hand to the sky, pull back on the right fingers with the left hand, push up with the same force that you pull back so that you're really opening into that wrist. It's amazing how much wrist mobility sort of diminishes, so it's really important to keep that wrist open. Swap sides, pull the left fingers back, really spread across the palm, spread across the thumb. Make sure the thumb isn't caught or sort of held over the hand. Keep the breath flowing. And then let's take our hands to fists. Circle in those wrist joints, mobilize both ways. And then we're going to do our famous jazz hands, so big stars, tight fists, and go as fast as you can. Out, in, out, in, out, in. Really make those big stars. The fluttering's going, the wrists are going. Let's go 3, 2, hopefully 1. Feeling it warm in the forearm, shake it off. And then grab your block or your ball, whatever's to hand, or your socks or your loo roll, whatever you've got. Keep up in that bridge. And we're going to take our arms over our head, and then we're going to pass that ball or the socks or whatever it is, the block, under our bottom. So we're taking the arms over the head, taking the ball in the other hand, and then swapping them behind your back under your bum. Keeping your glutes engaged, keeping the low back long, and then swap and feed the ball or the block the opposite direction. Really think about drawing everything in towards those 2 front hip points, the middle of that diamond, keeping that stability through the midline. Nice work, guys. Good, and then you can come to pause, and you're going to roll upper, middle, lower back with control all the way down to the mat. I want you to really think about moving that spine in segments. Peel all the way up again, engage the glutes, lifting into that low bridge, and then roll upper, middle, lower. So you're not moving the spine as one big clunky mess or clunky movement. You're working each vertebrae, feeling as if, imagine you had a popper, and with each vertebrae as it lands, you, a bit like bubble wrap, you'd pop that pop. Don't know if that's a terrible analogy, but who knows. Squeeze, roll back up once more. How controlled can you let each vertebrae come back down to the mat? Nice work, guys. Good. From here, we're going to move on to our abdominals. So interlace your hands behind your head, elbows frame your face. Inhale here, exhale, lift. Low belly pulls down and back. Lift up into those elbows, push the head back into the hands. Good. Inhale, slowly come down. Exhale, we lift. Left arm reaches towards the left ankle. Really reach through those fingertips. Keep that sacrum landed. Don't tip the pelvis back. Hand behind the head. Inhale, come down. Exhale, we lift. Right arm reaches towards the bottom of the mat. Really reach through the fingers. Lift to the left elbow. Hug into that midline. Keep the breath on empty as you stay in the air. Hand behind the head. Inhale, come down. Nice work, guys. Exhale, we lift. Right arm reaches this time. Hand behind the head. Left arm reaches. Good. Hand behind the head. Inhale, come down. Good. Exhale, we lift again. This time, both arms reach towards those ankles. Pull into that midline. Don't rely on your neck here. Good. Hands behind the head. Inhale, come down. Exhale, we lift. Twist to the left. Slice the right arm to the outer edge of the left thigh. Reach that left hand towards the bottom left edge of the mat and keep that left elbow in that line too. Hand behind the head. Inhale, come down. Exhale, we lift. Twist to the right. Slice the left arm to the outer edge of the right thigh. Again, reach towards the bottom of the mat. Hug into the midline. Right elbow is in the same line. Back to center. Inhale, come down. Last one. Exhale, we lift. Drive into that sacrum. Twist to the left. Slice the hand. Right comes to the outer edge of the left thigh. Then the left hand comes to meet it. Right hand takes the left wrist and pull. Feel that low belly engagement. Nice work, guys. Keep the neck relaxed. Back to center. Inhale, come down. Whew. Last one. Exhale, lift. These controlled micro movements, building this patterning. Left slices to the opposite side. So left to the outer right thigh. Right hand comes to meet it. Left hand takes the right wrist and pull. Good job. Bring your knees to your chest. Just massage the sacrum. And then we're going to rock and roll on our backs, keeping our spine nice and long. But see curving back, and then as you lift up, length through the spine, use those abdominals. Good work, guys. Last one. Hold here just for a microsecond. Release the hands, reach the arms forwards. Use those abdominals. Good job, guys. and then come on over onto all fours. Good. From here, we're going to be in quadruped. Think about the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Grab your block or your ball or whatever you've got. Make sure you stabilize through the right shoulder. You're going to take this block in the left hand. I've got it sort of on the long edge, palm facing down, thumb underneath the block, fingers on top. And you're going to rotate in this arm, bringing this hand all the way to the base of your spine. Land the block or the ball on the base of your spine. Push your elbow down to the floor and then lift it off. Rotate in the shoulder joint all the way back to the top. This is a lot. You should really feel this in your shoulder, in your abdominals. There's a lot of stability, especially on that right shoulder. And then you're working the mobility in this left shoulder joint. Good. Just keep flowing in and out through the nose with the breath, using that breath pattern. As you stabilize that right shoulder on the back body, hug into the midline, keep the weight even. It's very easy just to tip onto one side, which of course will make it easier because you're losing the weight distribution. Good. Last one, I think. We're supposed to be doing 5. Land the block, push the arm away, and then lift, rotate. Feel that rotation in that shoulder joint. Good. Swap sides. If it feels a lot on your wrists or your shoulders, you can come up and just give them a little roll off or circle of the wrists, and then let's do the other side. So left shoulder under left wrist, other way round, left wrist under left shoulder. Suction that left shoulder blade on the back body. Really make sure it's not flying up to the ear, but it's stable. Right arm reaches. Take it out to the side. Rotate, land it on the base of the spine. Push that right elbow down towards the floor and then take it back out, rotating in that shoulder joint. Good. Take it out to the side. If you don't have anything, you can just do this, creating a fist in your hand and using the fist. Good. Rotate back to the top. Taking the curtains with me. Good. We've got 3 more. Rotate. Keep thinking about the neck, drawing back in space, hugging into that midline, glutes are on. Everything should be working hard here. Nice work, guys. Keep that slow and controlled. And make sure you're not rounding in that spine, okay? We want that spine to be long and for those shoulders to be hugging on the back body. Nice work. Good, let's come down into dolphin. Interlace your hands, forearms on the mat, release the neck, tuck the toes, lift the bum to the sky. Length in the back body, really slurp up into the abdominals. Don't push or straighten through the legs. We want to keep that pelvis in neutral. Got a bit of fluff attached to me. Good. Left heel to the bum. If you feel like you can't take a foot off the mat and it feels too much, just stay in this position. But if you're coming with me, heel to bum, circle 3 times in the left hip joint. Take that knee nice and wide, making a yummy circle to hydrate that massive hip joint. But make sure you're not just rotating in the pelvis and opening the pelvis. Right heel to bum, swap sides. So again, the pelvis points are still facing the floor, but you're just mobilizing into that hip joint. We want to get true movement in the joint and not just compensate by moving our pelvis all over the place. So we want a stable pelvis and a mobile hip. That's what we're always working towards. Come down, knees wide. Push your little fingers into the mat. Take a big breath across the back body. Breathing deep down into the belly. Again, connecting back to that breath pattern. Is it doing the right thing? And then you can slowly come and stand at the top of the mat. Nice. At the top of the mat, think about your hips, shoulders being hip distance apart, and then feet rooting through the floor, length in the spine. Grab your blocks if you've got them at the top of your mat. Think about head stacking over the shoulders. Watch you're not flaring through the middle, really easy to do. So connect those hips to the 2 front hip points. Arms reach forwards and up, reach through the fingertips, hug the abdominals. hinge from the hips, bum goes back, plant the hands, right foot steps back, lower the right knee, bring the body up, grab one of your blocks, squeeze that right bum cheek, take the block to the sky, okay? It's like you're trying to stick that flat side of the block, or if you don't have a block, imagine you've got one and you're trying to stick it to the ceiling. So with every breath, you should be getting a bit more length as you really try and reach that block to the ceiling. Then we're going to start to pass that block behind us, taking it back to the top, swapping it into the other hand, and then you're going to go the other way. So change the way, keep everything else the same though, don't allow anything to collapse, keep that glute on, keep pushing through those toes. Nice work, guys. Hands to the mat, step back, plank, zip up through the front line of the body, squeeze that bum. If it feels too much to be in a full plank, lower those knees, get those shoulders in place. I don't want any rounding through the upper back. Make the back body work, not the front body. Good. From here, slowly lower with control towards the mat. Heads of the shoulders stay lifted. Lovely. Wide arm baby cobra, push through the fingertips, pull the chest through, squeeze the bum, lengthen the back body, really squeeze between those shoulders. Elbows are trying to touch towards each other. Obviously, they'll never get there, but that's what you want to feel. And keep hugging that bum and squeezing the belly. Release, frame the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift up and back. Down dog. Have a little pedal of those calves. Again, try and work into the pelvis, into the hips, and then if you want to add a pelvis wiggle, add a pelvis wiggle, and then take the right leg long, hug that right thigh to the chest, bring that right foot forwards, bring your body up, grab your block, your ball, whatever it is, arms to the ceiling again, squeeze that left bum cheek, push through those left toes, really elongate through the spine, and then if you can remember which way you started last time, start the opposite direction, taking that block behind us. We're having to work stability as we move our limbs, and then swap directions. Good. Keep breathing. In and out through that nose, patterning that breath, that functional breath. Lovely work, guys. Good. Hands to the top of the mat, back foot steps in, lengthen the spine, hinging from the hips, come up to stand. Good job. First sequence, soft knees, arms forwards and up. Reach through the fingertips, engage the glutes a little bit, hinge from the hips, bum goes back, plant the hands, left foot steps back, lower the left knee, bring the body up, hands to the shoulders, okay? So they're coming onto the tops and we're going to do some elbow rolls. So you're actually rolling your shoulders, but with your hands on the tops of your shoulders. Really think about lifting that elbow up, round, down and back, okay? Make sure it's not being lazy. Keep squeezing the bum, make sure you don't flare through the middle. Nice work, guys. 2 more. Breathing in and out through the nose, hands to the mat. Set those wrists under the shoulders. We're going to go to fire hydrant. So left knee moves out to the side, right knee moves out to the side. Left, so you're working into that outer hip, a bit like at the beginning we were fluttering our knees. We're now working into our glute med. Same principle, just rotating left to right. But make sure, show you front on, make sure you're not tipping in your body. Don't want to be tipping our pelvis. The pelvis stays stable, pointing towards the floor. We work into that hip mobility. Good. Make sure the neck's not dropping either. You're just warming up into those outer glutes. Lovely job, guys. Good, and then from here, hands push to the mat, lift up and back, down dog. Left heel to the bum, circle 3 times in that hip joint. So again, we're repeating that movement, working into juicing up that left hip. Nice work, guys. Good, and then hug that left knee to the chest, step that foot forwards, lower the back knee. You're in a 90-90 on the other side, okay? Let's grab the block again. Squeeze that right bum cheek, arms to the sky, push that block on the ceiling. Find that space in the entire body, okay? We spend so much of our lives hunched over. Let's extend ourselves like a massive slinky and then start to pass that block behind you, up to the sky, and then go the other way. Nice work, guys. Keep squeezing that right bum cheek, pushing through those right toes. Breathing in and out through the nose. Nice work, guys. Good. And then from here, block lands, right hand comes to the mat. If you need a block under the right hand to make sure you've got length in the spine and you're not rounding over, pop one under the right hand. It wants to be under the right shoulder. And then you're going to rotate to the left, thread that arm under the left thigh, open to the left. Pull that right shoulder away from the ear. Watch it doesn't fly up as you rotate, okay? So you're getting this into the upper back. Engage the glutes. Watch you don't tip in your pelvis. You're moving into the middle section. So your thoracic spine, which wants to rotate. It's designed for rotation. Good. Nice. And then here, land the hand, lift the right knee. Hands come to prayer. You're going to twist to the left, land that right elbow on the top of the left knee as lightly as you can. Sorry, on the top of the left thigh. Pull the chest through. I don't want you hooking that right elbow over. Okay, I don't want the rounding in the spine. I want you to pull the chest through. How light can you land that elbow and how much can you pull that chest through to create length in the spine? Keeping that right glute engaged. Gaze can be down at those front left toes. Engage the abdominals. Nice pause here. Breathe. And then back foot steps to the top of the mat. Come up to stand. Let's do the other side. Nice work, guys. Soft knees. Length through the spine. Arms reach forwards and up. Reach through the fingertips. Hinge from the hips. Bum goes back. Plant the hands. Right foot steps back. I think I've got the right side. Bring the body up, squeeze the bum cheek on the right side, hands to the elbows. Let's roll those elbows. So getting into those shoulders, feel the scapula lifting up and moving on the back body, okay? We want a mobile scapula. We don't want them to be sticky. We want them to be able to move in and out and stabilize. Good, nice. Breathe. Good work, guys. Hands to the mat. Back to quadruped, we're going to our fire hydrant. Great thing if you want to make sure your pelvis isn't moving with fire hydrant, pop a block on the base of your spine. If the block falls off, you know you're tipping your pelvis, okay? So keep that stable, the base of the pelvis stable, working into that hip, the knees coming out. You're not lifting like your dog peeing. We don't want that. We're just working into those outer glutes. Working into those hips. Keep going, do a few more. Keep stabilizing those shoulders, draw the neck back in space, lengthen the spine. Nice work, guys. Good. And then hands to the mat, lift up and back, down dog. Right heel to bum, circle 3 times in that right hip joint. Big circles, imagine you've got a paintbrush on that knee and it's drawing a beautiful circle. And then 3 times the other way. Keep pushing into the hands, slurping into the abdominals. Don't sink into those shoulders. Good. And then from here, right foot pulls to the chest. Step it forwards, lower the left knee. Bring the body up. Left toes tucked. Left bum cheek is squeezing. Grab your block. Set it to the ceiling. Reach through those fingertips. Again, if you don't have a block, just use your ball in one hand and imagine you do, and then start to circle that block around your body. Good. Hold the front ribs and then go the other way. Nice work, guys. Breathing as we go. Keep thinking about that breath in and out through the nose. Stabilize through the midline. Good. And then hands to the mat. Left hand comes down under the shoulder. If it needs to be on a block, remember, pop it on a block. We're rotating to the right, okay? Stabilize that left shoulder. Don't let it fly up to the ear. We want to keep it in place. And then thread it under the right leg, open up. Working into this upper back. Gaze can go to the right, but try not to look up at the hand. Keep stable through the pelvis. Squeeze those glutes. Nice work. Reach through those fingers. Get into that mid-back. Good. Last one. And then from here, hands land, lift the left knee, bring your body up, hands to prayer, rotate to the right, left elbow lands on the top of the right thigh. Push off those feet, so you're pushing through that back heel and back toe. Pull the chest through, think about lengthening that spine. Try not to let the head drop forwards and round. And again, you're not hooking that elbow over the other side of the thigh. Good. Engage here. Breathe, slurp into the midline. And then back foot steps in, come up to stand. Nice work, guys. Let's move on to our next sequence. Soft knees, arms forwards and up. Left foot steps back, you're coming to a high lunge. Okay, hands to the shoulders, let's do those elbow rolls. Make sure in your high lunge, your pelvis is in neutral. I don't want you tipped. So you can push on those back toes, lift the heels, soft back knee, pelvis is in neutral. Roll those shoulders with those hands on the tops of the shoulders, getting into those elbows. Good. Nice. And then from here, land the back foot, arms out. Inhale here, exhale, reverse. Reach into those right fingertips. Let the body soften back. Make sure all of the energy is coming up into the pelvis. Weight through the feet is even. Through the middle, left arm over, breathe. Make sure that right glute is engaged so that right knee doesn't tip in. Really reach through the middle, reverse again. Use your breath. In and out through the nose. Good. Through the middle. Left arm over, softly on that right thigh. How much can you hold your body? Okay, and lift up into these left ribs. Good. And then from here, grab your block. You're rotating to the left edge of the mat. We're coming to goddess. So soften down a little bit. Make sure your knees are leading the direction of your toes, not your toes leading where your knees are. Okay, soften down. We're going to pulse as we start to take this block up and around. Nice work, guys. We're like little windmills this morning. Swap directions, pulsing, engaging those glutes. Try and stay low. Try not to straighten with every pulse. You're keeping those thighs and butt burning. Good. And then from here, let's rotate back to the top of the mat. You're coming to a tilted crescent. So this time you are tilted, but you've got your length in your spine. So not high lunge, tilted forwards, blocks coming with us again. Past that block, behind you, reach it forwards. But keep those glutes engaged, keep the abdominals working. Okay, so different plane of motion. Okay, we're doing the same movement, patterning a movement, but we're working different muscles in our body as we do it. Woo! Keep hitting the curtain. Nice work, guys. And then pop the block down, hands to heart center, rotate to the right, left elbow lands on the top of the right thigh, pull the chest through, breathe, really find length in the spine, and then land the back foot, sit back into this left knee as you push into that right heel, lifting the right toe. Hands can come inside the right foot. Hold this for a moment. Should be a really yummy inner thigh stretch. Breathe. Should be nice into the lower back as well. And then rotate to the back of the mat. Footsteps in, come up to stand. And let's do the other side. Nice work, guys. Soft knees. Arms forwards and up. Reach through the fingertips. Keep those feet hip distance apart. Right foot steps back. Come to our high lunge. Soft knees. Reach through those fingertips. Squeeze that right bum cheek. Good. From here, hands to the shoulders. Let's roll those shoulders. Make sure that pelvis is in neutral. Remember, we're not moving massive limbs because our elbows are bent, but we're having to work our stability here as we move something on a stable base, okay? If you're pushing on your back toes as well, you're going to have to work stability more than if you have your foot landed, okay? So keep light, everything slurping up into the abdominals. Good work, guys. And then land the back foot, arms out. You're facing the right edge of the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, reverse. Lift up into the left ribs. Try not to change the position of your legs as you move through warriors. Right arm up and over, so you're literally just moving the upper body on the lower body, but the lower body isn't sort of shifting back and forwards. In through the middle. Exhale, reverse. Lift up into those left ribs. Let the neck soften down to the right. Breathe through the middle, right arm over. Really find space in this right side body. Try not to push onto that left thigh, or if you do, push away from it, lifting into this right side ribs. Good, and then from here, grab your block. We're coming to a goddess, facing the right edge of the mat. Remember, make sure your knees dictate where your toes go rather than your toes overturning. Good, coming down into your goddess squat. Arms up, take your block, and then let's start pulsing as we rotate that block behind us up to the sky. Good, and then go the other way. Keep that pulsing going, slow pulses, staying low, breathing, keeping your pelvis in neutral. Nice work, guys. Last one, and then rotate to the top of the mat, coming to a tilted crescent, so you're in a nice long line from the top of your head to the back toe, slurping into the abdominals. We're not dumping, we're not tipping in this pelvis, so keep your pubic bone lifted. Arms out in front, let's circle that block again. So if I show you front on, we're just keeping everything stable as we move those arms around the body. Nice work, guys. Brilliant job. Swap directions, working into that left glute. Good, and then from here, pop the block down, hands to heart center, twist to the left, land that right elbow on the top of the left thigh, pull the chest through, squeeze that right bum cheek so you don't collapse. Length, breathe, in and out through the nose. Nice, and then from here, land the back foot so it's facing the right edge of the mat. Sit back by pushing off that left heel into your right thigh. Hands come inside that left foot. Left toes are lifted. Sit back into the right glute. Drive into that left heel. Suction that left thigh bone. Don't lock out at the knee. Good. From here, rotate back to the top of the mat. Back foot steps in. Come up to stand. Nice work, guys. We're on to our final sequence, our stream.